Right now, you're about to see a lot of girls in bathing suits. Joining us right now, Gilbert Russell, Brio Body Wear owner. Great to have you here on the show. And as soon as I saw this segment, you know, it almost becomes this dreaded topic, because for a lot of women, heading out to buy a bathing suit can be nerve-wracking, and by the end of the day, they might not be in the best frame of mind. And I'm sure you've probably seen this at both of your locations.
Yeah, every day.
When they come in.
Yeah, I mean, fundamentally, it's the most naked they're going to be in public. So, you know, that's a little intimidating, and we understand that, which is why we train our staff really well, and we work really carefully with them so that they do find something.
I think that's it, is understanding that there are so many different body types, that people are going to fit suits differently, and so when you have staff that are knowledgeable and can say, kind of look at a body type and say, we're not even going to go to this section because that'll just make you miserable, let's start over here. And I think we're going to see that because you've literally brought a storyline of suits and models with you. So we'll start to take a look, and I'll let you kind of carry us through. So our first model.
The first thing to understand is that looking good in a suit, it's not about size, it's about proportion. The suit is a frame, and the frame can either throw your proportions off or help balance your proportions. So in this case, Laura has a band at the top and a band in the bottom, and that helps shorten her torso. And you do that, that makes the leg look longer, which is not a bad thing, right? The other thing too is Laura's fairly square-waisted, so there's a dip in the bottom, a dip in the top, and that gives her quite a bit of shaping through the body. So if we didn't do that, she would look very, very square-waisted. But we start making those little changes, and she looks amazing.
It does. It's a beautiful suit, great colors, and it fits her really well.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. This next suit really caught my attention. My eyes went right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Now the trick here is that first and foremost, the suit has to fit, and a lot of women have challenges because they're a D cup, a double D, an E, or whatever. If you don't get the support, if you try to get an average suit that's just a B cup and you're a D or a double D, it's not going to work. So this is an E cup, so it's giving her really good support, and she looks fabulous in it. The other thing too is a V neckline, so she doesn't look that blocky, kind of breaks up the line. You also get a little bit of draping, hides a little bit of a
ruching, it all comes in right at that waistline.
It works amazingly well, and just absolutely beautiful colors. It's one of our new suits this year from a company called Rodal in Spain.
Well, I can see they're going to do incredibly well. It's beautiful.
Yeah, they're doing great.
Thank you. All right. Now, for me, sometimes it's also the tan lines, you know, it's just depending when you're sitting outside. So let's take a look at this model and
mind you,
strapless.
If you're getting ready for a wedding, this is a great suit. Now, other women, of course, have the reverse issue where they're a little smaller in the top, and so what you want to do is get some draping, some gathering. You see how much shaping she's getting in that top? So that works really, really well for a customer who's a little smaller. The other thing that's going on here is you have a tankini, but it's loose fitting. So you want to hide a little bit of tummy, it works amazingly
So that's actually a two-piece.
It is. Do you want to lift it and show us?
So a two-piece, there you go. So you can do that.
Yeah. And, you know, amazing colors. You get a tan, it's going to look fabulous.
It's beautiful. Thank you. All right. We got a little cutout coming here right now.
Now, monokinis are great because if you love wearing a bikini, but you've had your first child, you want to hide that little bit of a tummy, this is great because you still get the openness. From the back, if you can turn around, Tammy, then at the back it looks like a two-piece, but in the front you get that protection and that little bit of coverage. This is an amazing company out of Australia called Jets. They have very unique prints, just wonderful style.
Beautiful. All right, next model.
Of course, sometimes you want to hide a little bit more, and that's okay. So here we've got the draping in the waist, which is wonderful because it pulls the waist in, hides a little bit. It's also a control suit. We have suits that have up to 32% Lycra, so it really holds you in. So if that's what you're worried about, we've got lots of suits that'll really kind of pull everything together and make you look great at the beach.
So I'm wondering where everything's being pulled in, because they look fantastic in these suits. They really are suiting their body types perfectly. We do have one more suit that we want to be able to get to, so let's bring in our next model.
Now the other thing, retro is still really, really strong. So you get ruching, you get gathering, and guess what? That ruching gathering, which is really in fashion, also helps hide. So here you've got the gathering at the top, pulls the attention up, all the draping through the midsection, gives you a nice hot retro look, very classy, very glamorous, and there's still a lot of that in fashion, so it's
like she's popped right out of a magazine from the 50s. It's fantastic. Okay, you stay there. She really does look like a pinup. She looks great. Let's take a look at all of our models once again. Of course, you do have the two locations.
One on Bank Street in the Glebe at 911 Bank, and then in Westboro at 380 Richmond Road.
Okay, give yourself time to get in, talk with an assistant in there, and go through that process.
Yeah, you need to take the time. You need to work with people you trust. And we'll work with you, and we'll find a suit that's fabulous.
Well, it's perfect. You brought in some beautiful suits for us. Thank you so much.